And especially from a time where we didn't rely on that.
But it's like my thoughts, like I need something to distract me from that
Attention. And I think that doubled with like what people were looking for on the socials. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined today by the great Tommy and Samantha Gongol. Guys, thank you for joining me here on Yo, That's My Jawn.
Thank you so much for
Happy
having
to
me.
be here. Excited I got top billing. That's
Yeah, well, you know.
One time.
It's funny because on my screen I went left to right, you know, so
Nice.
like I'm literally just reading. But I'm so excited to talk. Flash in the Pan has been out as of right now 2 episodes. The third one comes out tomorrow, but by the time people hear this will be next Monday. Third one will be out, and we're rolling pretty much weekly, with the exception of the 4th of July. And I've been absolutely loving it. So super excited to talk.
Thank you.
So tell the listeners a little bit about where you guys are from and like growing up, what your childhoods were like.
Yeah. Well, so I am Tommy's older sister. To make a long story short, I am in the band Marion Hill. So Jeremy and I have been friends, went to Haverford High School, grew up in the Philly suburbs in the Havertown area. Tommy still lives there. She can speak more too, and I since moved to LA. But Tommy had to, and I'll let you speak for yourself, but Tommy had to grow up with me singing all the time, performing. So very grateful that he doesn't hate me and still speaks to me after all these years. And this is our first like real collaborative project, and it's been really, really joyful and
Yeah.
get to work together.
Yeah, I was gonna say my claim to fame is I'm Samantha's brother. That is often the fun fact that I get to give out at corporate icebreakers and whatnot. But yeah, so from the Philly area, born and raised, bounced around a little bit for work after school, and then to Sam's point, we started doing this. For me, it kind of started as like a cathartic exercise on the train into the city when I would commute in and. Yeah, and then COVID happened, and Samantha and I were forced under one roof, and we said, why not combine our talents and give writing a shot?
Yeah.
It's awesome. Is it like I often say that like one of the only good things that came out of the pandemic is how much creativity was birthed. Like I kind of fell back in love with music over the pandemic. Not that I kind of ever stopped loving music, but I think my love just intensified. And then this podcast started. So everything happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. And as Tommy said, we were kind of like forced together, and Tommy's married now, but she was his girlfriend at the time. It was like 5 of us in like a very small house, all coexisting. I was trying to, find some creative spark and writing music, and Tommy had a more traditional 9 to 5, and we'd be popping in each other's rooms. So and we can talk more to this, but as Tommy said, it was birthed originally in COVID, and we have a version of the show that's solely based in 2020 and early 2021. And then it kind of took a different form, but it was born from necessity, I should say.
It's awesome. Obviously we're 5 years removed from COVID. How much kind of pre-work, what I guess was the pre-work? What did it look like? Was it just kind of tightening up scripts, or was it, finding funding? Like what did that look like? Kind of taking it from idea to execution.
Tommy, you can.
Yeah, so I'd say the first go around, we had written kind of a pilot treatment, shopped it around a little bit, leveraging some of Sam's music industry connects to kind of connect the dots, so to speak.
To no avail, but
Yeah. As anything with show business, we got like 1 to 2 conversations in, and it was really exciting. It was like, this is our first project. And then there was a little bit of a pinch ourselves moment of like, it would be next to impossible that the first thing we ever do or write together would really turn into anything. And so
what? Where's the struggle? This is
yeah. So we got, and at the time, again, I think there's a really wonderful story here. To Sam's point, it was set in COVID, but it was And, you know, I think if you look at a lot of TV shows that were set during COVID, it like they didn't know how to necessarily handle it. And it's just like, we're going to wear a mask and we're going to like reference it a little bit. And ours was taking place largely indoors. So you, like, and very much set in the, you know, right, you know, family together under one roof, and looked at like some of the absurdities that came about, you know, when we were all like bleaching our fruit when we came back from the grocery store because nobody knew, you know, really what to do. And so at the time, again, I think there were a lot of wonderful stories still in there. But at the time, nobody wanted to hear a story about COVID. It was a little too real and a little too raw. And so it fell by the wayside a little bit. And then obviously, you know, to Sam's point, I had a 9 to 5 and I kind of went back to the real world a little bit. And thankfully, Samantha kept plugging along. And so she reached out. You know, not that we don't talk regularly, but she was just like, "Hey, I've made it a thing again, and you know, jump on board. We're tweaking it and we're rewriting it, and we're making it happen."
That's awesome. The it's one of my favorite things is when you just won't let an idea die, like when it just kind of is there and it wants to come out and in whatever way. And even if you put it aside, at some point it's always back there kind of poking you in the head. I had a web series idea that I had an old podcast in the early days of podcasting when no one had them, when it wasn't, you know, everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was with two of my friends and it was called the dumbest name in the world, the BFFs OMG LOL Good Ass Podcast. And
that's incredible.
and so I wanted to come up with what our origin was. So I made this kind of web series idea, which was that the one guy, two of us were the other guy's imaginary friends from childhood, except for we manifested into real people who everybody could see and interact with. And even when he said they're my imaginary friends, everybody would see them and be able to talk to them.
That's really funny.
It was really manic, absolutely manic. But I've always been a fan of like the web series idea. Was that always kind of the target for this, was to do kind of web series vignettes, or was it more episodic at any point?
Yeah, you know, we, as Tommy said, we wrote a full like 30-minute pilot to kind of pitch, but our idea for it was always episodic. We wanted it to be like, you know, in a perfect world, it's picked up and it becomes, you know, like a sitcom that you would just watch on whoever would take it. It would be great. I feel like our influences were sort of like Schitt's Creek. Tommy, you're a big fan of Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And Community and right.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, it's like, I know we talked about this. So that would be ideal. But then as I started like writing more music, I was noticing that a lot of the themes were similar to the theme. I was exploring sort of the similar theme to like what was originally explored, even though it was based in COVID. It was about, I gasped myself, it was about an artist getting older and experiencing kind of your first brush with success, and then as we know, fame and success can be fickle, and so I was just exploring all those same things, and I said to Tommy, it would be cool to sort of resurrect this and make it a little more about kind of the trials and tribulations of the music industry. If we could just pivot it slightly, and it would be a great idea to just make it available everywhere. Let's make it a short kind of. Originally we wanted 10 episodes, then it got saved down to 8, and then because of budget, it'll turn into 6. So
yeah, content is expensive.
Yeah,
it turns out, and as soon as we can find funding. I'm really excited to hopefully do a season 2 and season 3, because I think we learned so much in this season about what's working, what isn't working, and on how we can make it even better going forward. But we thought a web series would be a great way to kind of start it.
yeah. The that I just watched rewatched the first 2 just before this, just to kind of refresh, and the second episode that takes place in the car with your TV your web series folks. I gotta ask, are your real folks upset that they're not in this show?
Oh my God!
Oh, it's a saga. Yeah, I'll take this one. So Like Sam said, so actually, like I kind of jumped back in to help write, and Sam pretty early on was like, "You have to play you," and I'm not an actor. It was not the intent.
You did absolutely.
I appreciate that. Well, the nice thing is like that wasn't acting. So specifically, the second episode more or less happened in real life. We maybe toned down some of my reactions. We can get to that. But yeah, so at one point, Sam was like, the whole family is going to be in it, and so we actually auditioned our parents. I from the jump was like, maybe, you and I being amateurs is enough amateurism in the acting space for this one. And so, but no, we auditioned our parents. They did a great job. But ultimately,
to this, so
they're not. Yeah. Ultimately, we decided that between Sam and I, we needed like the rest of the cast to be professionals and really lift us up. So it was no fault of our parents that they didn't get cast.
Yeah, I think just to add a little color to this, I don't think our mom would mind us sharing that, which was kind of funny. She really didn't want to do it. She was like, I don't want to audition. I don't want to be in this web series. You guys just go. And I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to have our family in it. This would be a really special experience. I was like, come on, just audition. And she was actually out here in LA staying with me. And I was like, just read through the script. Just like give it a whirl. And then she did audition. And we did not end up casting either my dad or my mom, or our dad or our mom. And she was a little salty. She was like, it's just the fact that I had to audition and then I didn't get it.
You made her fail.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, I feel like I didn't set them up very well, but
she also claimed I got too much joy out of firing them, which I maintain. I was actually really nice when I called. So
yeah, we had to work through it a little bit, but everyone's fine.
Yeah.
No, everyone's
It's amazing.
fine.
That's absolutely amazing. Also, I got to ask, you both have some writing in on this. Who came up with Broken E. Spears? Because that's just a killer zinger.
Oh, that's amazing. To be honest, it wasn't me.
Yeah, to be honest, I wish that was me. No, that was our awesome director, Chris Chi. He's fantastic, and he helped us again in being kind of more first time into the space. We were like, let's cut it down because content, you'd be surprised how long it takes to film a page. And so to Sam's point, we went from like 10 episodes down to 6. But even some of those episodes were like 7 or 8 pages long. And so Chris was really helpful and instrumental in us in paring that back and just kind of keeping the key beats. So credit where it's due. I think Broken Spears was him. And it's such a good line.
Yeah, he was great. And also just a shout out to our producer, Megan Duffy. Because I've said, because this is a really quick turnaround and we wrote it, obviously we've been working on it on and off, but from basically finishing it to production was like 2 months. And I've been working on music for like years now. And I was like, how did you get it done? And Megan was really instrumental in sourcing everyone and bringing everyone together. So could not have happened without our director, Chris, and Megan.
Yeah, literally could not. Still, new episodes would not be coming out if it wasn't for Megan keeping us on task.
Yeah.
That's great. I need a Megan in my life because I think I told you my release schedule has gotten a little weird over here. Like, it's just tough.
No, honestly, I said to Megan, I mean, I love my manager, but I was like, do you want to like manage me? I don't know. Like incredible. She's so organized and so on it.
Yeah. So. What did you finalized everything before starting the release schedule, or are you still in production on any of this?
We actually just wrapped Picture Lock for the last 2 episodes. We were working on 5 and 6. And
we filmed everything in like 3 days, which was, again, kind of ambitious for a first time project. But really happy with what we were able to accomplish in those 3 days. And then to Sam's point, we're Picture Lock on 5 and 6. Like today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. What is the experience? So like, you're used to kind of dropping music and stuff like that, which also forces you to play the social media game and stuff like that, but kind of in a different lane. What's that been like kind of, I see the clips everywhere and the clips are great. And, it like having something clip worthy obviously is huge. It's why I started doing video again I started doing video on this show. I stopped dropped for like 4 years, and then everyone was like, "Hey, video's big again." And I was like, "What? Come on!" Like,
I know. I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's such a good question. Social media, I have such a love-hate relationship with it, and I think everyone does. Truthfully, I was getting a little bit burnt on music. I was just feeling a little fatigued and like I just needed a break. I wanted a different outlet, and I had so much fun writing with Tommy in COVID, and it was something I really missed when we tabled it, and I really wanted to go back to it. And no, I love making music, but this has been the most fun I've had creating something in many years. And it's something I'm sort of like willing to put up with the social media. I'm like, I want people to see that I want it to have life and legs. And I've even had fun like editing this a little bit. I feel like I can be a little bit not impartial, but I feel like a little bit removed from it in a way that feels different when you're like posting a cover or something. Music can be so intimate. Of course, I want it to do well, and you know, I'm constantly refreshing the numbers and the views and seeing how it does. But it's been something that's been fun for me, which I can't say is always the case.
Yeah.
For sure.
And for a little pre-spoilers, I guess this will air after episode 3, but episode 3 is a little bit about kind of the ridiculousness of social media when it comes to the music industry. So
Wild. Tommy, what's your relationship with social media like?
Constant consumer of it to the detriment of my well-being. You know, it's I'm like really trying to go through a bit of a social media cleanse. Obviously, you know, promoting this is keeping me on. You know, I don't come from the entertainment space, so for all of my like 12 followers on any given platform, I'm posting to it. So
That's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really challenging because like you know, I all but cut out 99.9% of the socials last August.
Good to see.
And then but like I still have to like post stuff for the show. So I've been using a lot of the business apps to kind of post to cross post to things without having to log on and kind of be on it and be slammed by it. But also I got burned out. Like that is part of it, as well as, you know, like burning relationships and stuff like that. Like it's a real big challenge, because one of the things that I've had an issue with for a very long time is everybody's always like, well, you gotta spam the socials, you gotta get everything on the social, you gotta post here, you gotta have a schedule, you gotta do all this. And everybody I've talked to, I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but I never see what the return of investment is, because I see a lot of likes, I see a lot of shares and stuff like that, but I don't see any conversion into listeners, which is, you know, it takes time away from making the actual thing I want to make to promote it, you know? So it's weird, but like, do you find, I guess the question, that it's a long-winded way to get to the question, which is, do you find it less toxic when you're doing something like this than when you're doing something, you know, like you said, vulnerable, like music?
Yeah, you know, it's, oh God, we could talk for hours about this. The thing with social media that always drives me crazy, like you were saying, is the need for quantity over quality. And I think my relationship to social media would be less strenuous and maybe even positive if there wasn't this emphasis on this need for constant content and needing to like feed the beast and the algorithm, as you say. But yeah, I think with music, I think the thing that really burnt me was not the fact that I have to share it. I think, well, two things. I think Jeremy and I, my partner, Marion Hill, came up in a time when you didn't really need it. So we were kind of spoiled, and we just always loved performing and being out. And it's so much fun when you are like on tour and you want to share. Like I said, like we want to share photos from us out and on stage, but we always had a hard time. Like, we're like, we don't want to share like what we had for dinner. We're like, this is just,
Right.
We're not content creators. And so with music specifically, I was just like, I don't and we were taking a break. I was like, I'm just bored. I'm bored of interacting with people in this way. I'm bored of sharing these little guitar riffs. I just didn't know my place exactly. And especially coming from a time where we like didn't need to rely on that. I sound like I'm 90 years old, but it's sure. Like,
I get it. No, I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, so to answer your question, so with this, it's been, I think because I'm so excited about the project again, and because I want people to see it and share it and consume it, it's been fun to like edit little clips and figure out ways to kind of draw people in, which I'm still figuring out. So yeah, it's a constant back and forth though, for sure.
I get it. I definitely get it. To that point, I've recently been reading. I don't know if you've read. Liz Pelly wrote this book about Spotify called Mood Machine, which is all about kind of the inner workings of Spotify and the algorithm and the things that they push and all. And one of the things I keep coming back to is like this concept of their playlists that are highly successful are mostly like kind of background music playlists, and how to fit on things you need some kind of like unoffensive, unchallenging thing to just kind of not make you pay attention. And I think that doubled with like what people were looking for on the socials. I've been having this real weird conversation recently where I'm just like, I don't know that the majority of people actually like music. Like, I think they just like artists. They definitely like artists. I know that for a fact. And I think they just don't like silence. I don't know. It's I'm being weird.
I think that's spot on. It's funny. So like my background in corporate America is working in like the telecom advertising space, a couple of different roles in different places, and the whole evolution of fast channels, which is free ad supported TV, which is just like all the stuff that was in syndication that like there's not really a home for anymore are just these channels. And they've done studies on it. And, if this is still accurate, I don't know, but a lot of it was just like, people want something in the background. And as Sam has mentioned, I'm a big Parks and Rec fan. I've probably seen it like 13 times through, but a lot of the time it was just like, I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. Like I need something to distract me in the background.
For sure.
Yeah, totally. And a brief aside to kind of go back to your original question, I feel like social media has changed this idea. Like, I don't think you can, or it's very rare that you can just be a musician today. I think like you have become the product and the music is selling you versus the other way around.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's been difficult to kind of like wrap my mind. And I know a lot of artists kind of share this opinion, but that's been difficult to navigate because a lot of us, we don't go in to become content creators. We go in to be musicians.
Yeah.
And this felt like doing the show felt like an amazing way to kind of like to express myself and ourselves through another medium versus just TikToking random stuff all day just to hope something goes viral. And obviously there is a component of that too, but this felt like a very intentional, amazing way, like it's content at the end of the day. It's easily digestible, but it's a story.
Yeah, and there's that real kind of brilliant meta level to it where you are playing yourselves, right? Yeah. So it is kind of like you're playing the game and giving people what they're asking for, but also you're getting to control it. Not that the other stuff's not controlled, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But it does feel like nothing's totally in your control, and I think that's frustrating. It's like, it's not like you can just play out anymore and be like, oh, like this is great, or you have a conversation with an agent, so much of it is like, how many followers do you have? How many posts? How are you streaming? It's become so numbers based and the metrics are like, feel me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, I've been talking about, I can already hear specifically my wife, but most of the people who listen to this show regularly are like, oh, he's going to do it. Here he goes. Weird. But I think we've kind of all agreed on this on certain metrics that don't make sense for culture. And I think that's why I have this theory that culture is to borrow another great comedy series, is in a state of arrested development because for like the past 10 years, we've been chasing a metric that does not reward change.
Yeah.
So like, of course, everything is just kind of a reboot or a copy of something or following something that's already successful. Like
Yeah.
there is no reward structure made for giving something that can't be said, oh, this is like this, so you will like this,
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
It's very true. We become
It's
very
wild.
siloed.
Yeah, for sure. So the title of this shares the title of the single that you released last fall.
Yeah.
You said that there was parallels. Were you always planning on this being the theme song because it's perfect?
Thank you so much. I was not. I had always felt the music sonically is like a huge departure from Marion Hill, which has been really fun. But I had always felt like it would be great in a trailer or something. And as we were editing this, it's actually funny. We were trying other songs from the EP, and we were like, no, we were like, this is the only one that works. So real happy, if nothing else, we got to just kind of slide that in there.
It would have been a totally different mood and vibe if Planes was the.
We were testing Planes as so like each episode was going to have a different song from the EP be the outro music at the very least. And like to a degree it worked until we did Planes. And Planes was going to be for season 2 because like, she's flying back home with the family and it was just like, this is not the vibe.
Yeah.
So.
We're like, oh God, this took it to like a dark drama. This is not at all.
What you need to do is, now that everything's wrapped after episode 6 airs, is you need to do the Planes edit of Flash in the Pan and then just downplay all of the high notes with low notes and see if it's
Honestly,
a remix.
That would be pretty sick. Yeah, this show would take on like a totally different flavor. And
Right?
I think people would like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, my brain's always trying to create new content.
No, I love that. That is funny though. It was not a good.
What is the plan for the EP? Like, is it are you looking at this as a tandem project or are you looking at the EP as kind of its own thing?
Yeah, this is an exclusive because I haven't announced it yet, but I do have an EP coming out. It is also titled Flash in the Pan. I'm very excited. It's going to be coming out at the beginning of August. It's funny, in a perfect world, I would have lined them up perfectly and it would have been sort of like a soundtrack moment, but didn't totally think that through. So there is going to be Flash in the Pan, Planes Are Low, and another song that I feel like is in a montage scene in episode 5. And then there are 2 others that are a slight departure, but still deals with these themes of show business and getting older. They're a little campy. One has sort of flavors of Marion Hill. So yes and no to answer your question.
Okay, yeah. No, it's awesome.
Yes, sonically, we'll see. Bit of a stretch.
Okay. That actually is something else that comes up a lot in this is is EPs and singles as a release idea. Now, you're no stranger to it because Marion Hill released a bunch of EPs, but like, was there ever a plan for an album or was EP always the goal with this?
I did want to do an album, but I was feeling a little overwhelmed by it. I was feeling like I just didn't have it together, and I had been working on it for so long, and it's gone through so many iterations. I finally was like, I just have to release something. I was like, I don't care if it's perfect. I don't care if it's my magnum opus. I just need to put one foot in front of the other and just have something out. So I kind of fell back on an EP. And it felt just like a more manageable project. And then when the show kind of came to fruition, it was actually funny. We were up until a few weeks before debating on what should come first, the EP or the series. And we felt like we should start with the series and roll that out and have it exist on its own, which is what we want. We want people to watch and listen and consume both. And it'd be great if they think of the other as they do that, but also if they only spend time with one, that's okay too. So an EP felt like a really nice little package to kind of release in tandem.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to ask, so, you guys both play yourselves in this, and, you both kind of have alluded to being amateurs, but I think you're both great on the show. So
Oh, thank you.
you just start calling yourself professionals.
Wait.
But yeah, there. So like, what's the background? Any background? Any acting in the child, like any high school theater or anything like that, or?
Yeah.
Sam's is more extensive, so I can go first. I was in a 6th grade play. I was a background in a 7th grade play, and after that, that was the end of my illustrious acting career.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I did take like some improv classes in high school, and I did some high school theater. Actually, that's how Jeremy and I met. We were in a production of The Music Man together in 8th grade, and then we went on to do high school theater together. And then I stopped, and in COVID, I took an acting class over Zoom, and it was really fun. I was surprised because, to be honest, I had never really had a huge interest in acting. I loved improv, but I'd never really explored it professionally. I went on like an audition here and there, but nothing really ever came of it. And I guess
That's not totally fair. Sam is underselling. She has been on television before. At least her voice has been.
Oh, for Beat Bugs? Oh my God. Yeah, I did some voiceover. Well, I sang a song for the. Did you ever see? It's a children's show, so
that doesn't mean that I didn't see it. So
but
don't.
Unless you, it was called Beat Bugs, and I think it was Beatles themed, or it's no longer on the air. But I did voice a bug. I think she was a queen bug, which is kind of cool. But other than that, yeah, I had no acting experience. And then I was gonna say, it's funny. I feel like as you get older, you just kind of realize, and I think the longer you spend, especially in this business, you're just like, there are no rules. And like, I want to do something, so like, let's make it happen. Why wait for a door to open? You should open it yourself. And I was like, this would be really fun to explore. And I'm not, it's funny. I feel like I'm actively figuring out my character as the series goes, which is why I'm excited to hopefully do a season 2. But I think like, try something new, like make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. I could have done this and be like, oh, that was horrible, and I'm not doing it again. But you might as well give it a shot. And it was really fun. And I knew Tommy would be good. We did some like table reads, and I was like, we're electric. I was like, it was really fun to kind of be scene partners, and so it felt like a natural fit.
And Sam had a little more faith. I wanted her to audition for herself.
Yeah, so. I was like, no. I was like, I'm casting myself. This is the one time that I get to cast myself. It's like, no way.
What about writing? Any background in kind of writing, narrative, or something like this, or?
No, this not for me. This is where Tommy really shines and really kind of taught me the ropes. I had no background. I mean, songwriting, but nothing narrative. So I was kind of like a fish out of water. But Tommy, especially in the beginning.
Again, for me, it was like largely a cathartic exercise. Again, even pre-COVID, I was just riding the train into my corporate job and needed a creative outlet and needed had a little bit of time to do it. So I wrote like kind of 2 pilot episodes for some other sitcom ideas that I had that are, if anyone listens to this and you want to fund something, that's great. We've got a few other things in the portfolio, but yeah, it's mostly just been doing it for fun.
That's awesome. Well, again, same thing with the acting. The writing's incredible. So stop no amateurs here.
Thank you. That's really kind of you to say, and really, it means a lot because it is, like we said, it's our first project, and we're expecting, I think Tommy and I had a conversation like, we're going to try it. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to see how it goes. And like we were saying earlier, like we've learned a lot about kind of what's working on screen, what isn't. And our director, Chris, taught us, really came in and kind of like helped us punch it up, which I'll speak for myself, but like I learned a lot about kind of like where to insert the joke and kind of when to let it be, what sort of filler dialogue and what works and what doesn't. So it's been a really fun learning experience for me personally.
That's great. I just want to throw this out there that if there should happen to be a season 2 and there should happen to be a scene where you guys are either talking to a podcaster or anything. Anyway.
Listen, let's go. We wanted this to be like at least 10 episodes. And we're like,
Yeah.
6? God, what are we going to do with
Yeah.
6? So, yeah.
And they say write what you know, and a lot of these episodes really are, I mean, lifted from real life in varying degrees, but especially again, episode 2 happened. I mean, we were in the car. The only difference to the scene is my wife was in the car with us, but our parents were there. My mom saw a Girl Scout. I gave Sam $20. Sam came back with no change. Again, the only difference is in real life, I was a lot more upset. I think I threatened to keep the whole family hostage until we went back. I was like, the Girl Scout's dad clearly identified you as a rube right off the bat. Like he took advantage of you. So again, maybe we had to tone it down for the screen, but
like 1 through 4 were really lifted from real life. Like I really was dropped by my agent and record label in the same day in 2022 with a horrible phone call. I just moved to LA.
Oh God.
It was rough. And then, like I said, the Girl Scout episodes happened. The next scene is with a publicist, and by the time this airs, it'll be out. But there's a scene where she says, "Do you have panic attacks? You should film them." And that was actually advice I'd gotten from a publicist a couple years ago. And then the fourth scene is like this scene with my mom, like trying in COVID, we were all together, and like Tommy and his wife Nicole and my mom and dad, they were helping me with social media because we were the only people we interacted with. So I was like, I need help. You guys have to like film my TikTok. And so it was really cathartic and funny to kind of like dredge up these memories again and kind of like poke fun at the absurdity of it all.
That's so cool. I also need to add that this is completely random. But in my resume, I did some high school theater with Liza Weil, who played Paris Geller in the Gilmore Girls.
No way.
No big deal. I'm just saying, if you want to get your 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, she was in Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon. Yeah, I can help your Kevin Bacon points.
Are you from the area? Are you both from the area originally?
Yeah. We both graduated North Penn High School.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Yeah. My wife does an annual fall rewatch of Gilmore Girls, so
there you go.
I can quote a lot of it.
Now you have 3 degrees or 2 degrees of Liza Weil. There you go.
Wait, Nate, you're hired.
Yeah. Yes, I knew it.
You're in the episode too. Absolutely.
It's funny. These are coming out. The EP's coming out, and then are you going to try to do any shows around the any live shows around the EP or?
That is an excellent question. I should. I have nothing on the books as of right now. I've been very negligent, so I should. But the answer is I have nothing on the books.
Yeah. Okay.
I should definitely something.
And then I guess what's the Marion status? Because you have the no more marrying that hill, or you won't be marrying that hill.
I did.
Line.
I did. I thought that would be fun. It's funny when it came up that I was like, I don't know. I was 50-50 on that. I was like, people could take that either way, but I thought it was funny. But we are making more music.
Oh, okay, good.
We've been cooking some stuff up. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I just saw you guys at the Philly Music Fest. As a matter of fact, we almost talked then because we were trying to set something up, but it fell through. But you did talk to my good friend Dan Drago, so that's all that matters.
Yes.
The conversations were had.
Yes.
But that show was incredible. That was
you.
just an amazing performance that night.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was really fun. It was fun for us too because we hadn't performed in a long time. We've been we had like 3 performances in the last 3 years by choice. It's like it wasn't.
Yeah.
We just needed to take some time. But it's been really fun to work together again, and we're excited about what's next. And we'll send you the music.
Oh, cool. I'd love to hear it. The other very weird side coincidental thing is I just re-listened to, you guys were on an episode of Switched on Pop back in the day, which is, I love, I talk to Charlie regularly over Discord and stuff like that.
Amazing.
And so I listened to that episode today just to kind of refresh. Yeah. And there was a moment in it where everybody's talking about songs that reference other songs.
Yeah.
And it clicked something in my head, and I went in my email, and I think it was one of the very first times I ever emailed Charlie as a listener of the show before, like he's been on this show, and like I said, we kind of joke around and whatnot. So I kind of took a screenshot, and I was like, I'm talking to Sam tonight, and how crazy is this that I think it's the first time we ever talked was because of that episode.
Wait, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
That's
small world.
Wow, God, that must have been 2018, 17, 18.
I think 18, maybe something like that. Yeah, long time ago. Time
That's
flies.
crazy. Yeah, I remember. Oh God, yeah. Charlie's such a cool guy. So interesting. Jeremy was really excited to do that podcast too, because Jeremy loves diving into as a producer too. It's his job, but he just really loves diving into music and how it's made. And I sometimes take I'll listen to one song over and over, and then I'm like, okay, I've done it. I'm good. I don't need to think about it anymore. And Jeremy loves it. And it's really smart and articulate. And
Yeah, it was a great episode, and you guys held your own. That was like my when he came on the show and we were talking. I made the joke that should his Nate ever leave, I'm right here. But no, I could never fill that man's shoes. That man is so brilliant with music.
So smart. Yeah.
But what I said to him that was very weird to me is like I started as a fan listening to that show.
Yeah.
And to talk to him is like I saw this meme a very long time ago that was the only way to truly understand what it feels like to be a ghost is to listen to a podcast where two guests can't think of a fact that you know the answer to. And I said to him, this feels like I'm a ghost and I'm finally being seen because I'm talking to you about this.
Wait, that's insane.
Isn't that crazy? Because that's true. Because you sit there in your car or on your headphones and you're like, oh my God, I know. If you could just hear me, I could tell you.
Yes. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's so crazy. That's
next
yeah.
level.
I should get back in touch with Polly. That would be fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
At this time, I have a questionnaire that I like to ask all of my guests to close out. It's called the Jauntlet. It subsists of two different sections: the top 10 countdown, or the top 10 countdown, which is about Jawns themselves. But it starts with the one-hit wonders, and in this is just you're just picking a favorite. So we'll go in age order. So we'll go Sam first on an answer, and then Tommy on the follow-up. The first one: Billy Joel or Elton John? Who do you prefer?
Oh my God. Oh, okay. This is like 51-49 Billy Joel.
Okay. Yeah. Acceptable. Your East Coast bias is showing. Tommy, your answer?
I was gonna say I got Billy Joel as well. I got to see him live in concert when I was in college. It was awesome.
Amazing. Oh, that's great. Number 2, Debbie Harry or Joan Jett?
I'm gonna go Joan Jett.
Okay. Tommy?
I'm going to be super honest. I'm not sure I know who Debbie Harry is, so I got to say Joan Jett by default.
Okay. Debbie Harry is the front woman of Blondie, who actually just celebrated a birthday last
Okay, yes.
Hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Aretha Franklin or Tina Turner?
Oh my God. I was just watching a video of Tina Turner from like 1971 doing Come Together.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, these are so hard. I'm gonna say Aretha, but also like I don't know. Also like 51-40, like both iconic women for different reasons.
Totally fair. Tommy?
I'm not copying Sam, I swear, but also Aretha.
I like it. Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
Nirvana.
Okay.
I mean, I'm such a Dave Grohl Foo Fighter guy, but I might say Pearl Jam on this one.
Okay. I like it. Respect. Janis Joplin or Stevie Nicks?
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks.
Huge favorite fan.
Yeah.
The biggest cliche of them all, Beatles or the Stones?
Oh my God. I'm gonna go with the Beatles.
All right, I dig it.
Wow.
And
That's great.
the final one of the one-hit wonders, Bohemian Rhapsody or Stairway to Heaven?
Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't even know why. I thought about that actually.
Yeah.
Not that Stairway to Heaven's great, but Bohemian Rhapsody is just like insane. It's like it's like an opera.
It really is.
It's like a one of one.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
Totally.
an episode that got cut was inspired by a family dinner that we had during COVID that ended with us standing on the table singing Bohemian Rhapsody. So, gotta say, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. And
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I was like Freddie Mercury was just a star. I mean,
Yeah.
they just, like totally they don't make people like that anymore. Like just a complete performer.
I've often said, there's the clip of him at Live Aid getting everyone to do the call and response, and I gotta say, if that were me, you wouldn't be able to tell me a goddamn thing after that happened. I would feel like the most powerful person in the planet.
I know. My friend, who's also a musician, we love talking about like pop music, but especially kind of like older performers from like 60s, 70s, 80s versus like today. And we also watched like a video of him from Live Aid, and just like some of the like riffs he was doing in notes, he was just out of his mind. He's just electric.
It's 100% him just showing, hey, I'm the best person in the world. So get on board or don't.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Completely electric.
The next section is the top 10 countdown. In this, we use Jawn to be whatever you want it to be. Obviously, it doesn't have to be music; it can be anything you want. So the first one is: what was your first Jawn? What was the first thing you were obsessed with as a kid?
Oh gosh! And doesn't have to be. Well, it can be anything.
It can be anything. Yeah.
I'm sure this. Okay. I don't even know how to answer this. I mean, like horses, I was obsessed with.
That totally works. Yeah.
But also Britney Spears.
Okay.
Here's my first Jawn.
Okay. I can dig it. Tommy, what do you got?
I don't know if it was my first, but it's the first one that comes to mind, and it's television related, was Scrubs. I loved Scrubs growing up.
All right, I dig it. I somewhat Scrubs related. Just saw Ringo, and Ringo is touring in his all-star band with Colin Hay. And
yeah,
I got to see Colin Hay do Overkill with Ringo playing drums, and it was the most insane thing in the world.
I love that song, and I can vividly picture the Scrubs episode.
The Scrubs,
it shows up in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Number 2, what's your current Jawn? What are you into right now?
God, this is harder than the than the one who wonders. What am I into? I feel like I've been living under a rock. Can Tommy go first?
Sure.
Yeah, now that it's summer, it's bike riding. I've been really, we just moved out of the city at the end of last summer, so it's been nice to like ride my bike around the neighborhood again.
That's awesome. Do any trails or anything like that, or just
not yet? We just got my wife a new bike this past weekend, so I think like the trails are coming shortly.
Let me just say that one of my favorite things to do is to bike around Valley Forge and then hit the Schuylkill River Trail right there.
Yes. The guy at the Allentown Trek store, Drew, shout out to Drew, also recommended Valley Forge.
There you go. Let's see.
I want an interesting answer, but you know what? I'm going to say popsicles.
Okay.
Pops, like the OG, just like the...
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need the chemicals.
Yeah.
I think those are the best. I stand by it, and we should bring them back. Enough with the health food. Take the sugar, take the dye. I think the burning doesn't matter.
I am 100% on board with that. Like, there are so many foods that have been taken from me that I'm just like, look, can't I just have that? Like,
no, I went on this kind of like no refined sugar thing for a minute, and I tried to make a homemade like Snickers bar, and it was horrible. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, actually, what am I doing? This is completely ridiculous. Like, let me just have sugar. Totally, yeah. Bring it back.
It's great.
Yeah, that's my hot it's Jawn take.
It's awesome. Good answer. Number 3, what was your first concert? What was the first live show you ever saw?
Funnily enough, I actually do think it was Britney Spears in like 2001.
Okay. Is that
the one that I like remember at the Wells Fargo Center?
Okay, like third album maybe? Second album?
it was either her second or third.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool.
I think it was her third. I think it was the Britney album.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Tommy?
Yeah, for me, it was U2's Vertigo tour, I think also in '05. Or not also in '05. Sam and I are 4 years apart, so 4 years later, also my first concert.
Those are very strong answers. I like that a lot. I like that. Number 4. Yeah, they're all over the place. It's fine. I dig it. What was number 4? What was your last concert? Last live show you saw?
Oh my God. Oh my God. What was the last I saw? I went to the Hollywood Bowl recently and saw like a jazz festival, but
That totally counts.
I can't remember the last artist concert I saw. That's horrible. Do you have one, Ronald?
Well, I was going to say, like, I am such a big live music guy, but I've been like a little bit off my game the past year. And I'm trying to think, it was either Noah Kahan in Vermont or it was Wildorado at the Fillmore. I'm losing track of who came more recently.
Okay. No. Great
As soon
answers.
as we hang up, like it's going to come to me. I cannot. I know the jazz festival was the most recent thing, but before that, I cannot remember.
It's all right. It happens. It happens.
Oh my God.
I can literally only remember mine because it was like a week and a half ago.
What did you
So
say?
I saw Strand of Oaks in King of Prussia at the they do the Concert Under the Stars series.
Yeah.
So that, and then I'm actually going on Thursday again for Dawes and Phosphorescent.
Oh,
Nice. Oh, that'll be great.
I can't wait. I'm super excited for that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's bothering me that I can't think of the last.
Don't
It's going to come to me.
don't let it eat you alive.
No. This is really, it's too much TikToking. It's melted my brain.
That's what it is.
I have no brain cells left.
That's funny. Number 5, favorite concert, best show you ever saw.
Wow. I've been very lucky to see a lot of great concerts in my life. But I would have to say I always love a good LCD sound system show.
Very nice.
That was pretty cool. God, there's so many. More recently, I would say like Beyonce at Coachella when we played in 2018 was like pretty iconic.
Hell yeah.
And then she's just amazing. I mean, what can you say? And then I have to say, I did see the Taylor Swift concert in LA, and I have to say, I was just so impressed. I would say like I'm a casual fan. Like I'm a fan. Like I like her. I'm actually more of a fan of like her re-records and her later album.
Same. She understands her voice so much better.
I totally agree with you. There's something she instills it with just like maturity and gravity, and like I feel like I relate to them more than I did when I was younger. So that was very cool. She's also just such a performer, obviously, but it was like an incredible experience. I was really impressed. I don't know what I was expecting when I went, but I left being like, oh my God, I was at church, came back, converted. You know, it was just really, really joyful and kind of magical.
That's awesome. I'll share with you the saddest live story I ever had in my life. Happened. I was playing a show 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this young waitress came up to me at the end of the night, and she goes, I think she was trying to pull one over on me. She was like, can you play any Taylor Swift? And I looked at the clock, and I had 10 minutes left in my set. And so I did All Too Well, Taylor's version, the 10-minute version. God damn it.
My God, know it?
Yeah, oh, come on.
Like
And
the
the 10-minute version, yeah.
Oh my God.
And so I get done, and I stop, and she was like, that was amazing. Are you a dad? And I was like, I am not a dad. Why? And she was like, well, how do you know Taylor Swift? And I was like, get out of my face. Like, I was like,
You're like, I take this back.
I'm a living human being with a pulse.
yeah.
Oh
Are
my
you a
God.
dad? What am I, near death? Come on.
No, I know. It's She's just she's iconic. She
That's
is what
right.
she is, you know?
Yeah. Tommy, favorite concert?
Ooh, it would either be that live Noah Khan show, Joy Eladikun opened. It was just like knew every word. Like both of them together, fantastic. It was in his hometown. It was in Vermont. It was awesome. It was either that or just after college, I moved to New York, and the Lumineers were playing a doubleheader at Madison Square Garden, and I couldn't find anyone to go with me. I was like just fresh to the city, and I like bought a last minute ticket day of to the Thursday show, went by myself, random seat, and Wesley Schultz, lead singer, comes out in the crowd like 10 rows in front of me, just like in the random side section I was in. And that was just like a fun, I've never gone to a solo concert before or after, and it was just like a really fun and weird experience.
That's amazing. And now I'm going to share you the second saddest story in the world. And this is another completely coincidental thing because it literally just happened today in the same Discord where I talked to Charlie.
Oh.
And that is someone mentioned the Lumineers. And I said, whenever someone mentions the Lumineers, a little piece of my soul dies because I have a screenshot of an old billing from a random week at the Grape Room in Manayunk, where the Lumineers played on Tuesday and I played on Thursday. And they're playing Madison Square Garden for your favorite show of all time. And I'm sitting here in my goddamn basement.
Oh my God. Can we be in this Discord chat?
Yeah,
I'll get you an invite. Yeah, I'll 10,000% get you an invite. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really funny.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that, well, yeah, we'll have not to reveal myself too much, but I'll have moments like that sometimes. Like I'll go back and look at like old, like articles and it's funny to see like where people are now.
Yeah.
And you're just like, ugh. You're like we're crawling our way back.
I love to joke about it. Like I love those dudes and all, but like I said the only time it's ever really hurt me was I was having a really bad day at my day job one day and fucking Hohei came on the radio and I was about ready to throw the radio through the wall. Like I was just like, not today, Lumineers, not today.
Yeah. That's so funny. There's did you watch Hacks?
Yeah.
There's an amazing Tommy, do you watch Hacks?
I haven't. It's been recommended a number of times.
I know.
really like Hacks.
Yeah, it's really, really funny. But do you remember the scene? I think it was actually the end of last season, not this past one.
I'm still behind, but.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I don't want to give too much away. But
you can. Yeah, I'm good. I love spoilers. Yeah.
Okay, great. She just gets late night and she meets with, I don't know, that he's an older guy, the head of like some network when she was younger. And she's like, what could I have done differently? And he's like, there's literally nothing you could have done differently. Sometimes like the stars just align, you know? And I think too, like moving through this, because it is really easy to like compare yourself and be resentful of what you haven't done. And I think like it's true, like sometimes like the stars just align and sometimes it takes you a little longer, sometimes it doesn't. But so much of this business is out of your control. And you just have to focus on what you can control and revel in your little successes. And, you know, it might work out or it might not, but all you can do is try. And
no, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, like I wouldn't change anything because, you know, look, if I were big and famous, I might not have ever met my wife. And I would give away any kind of taste of fame for that. Like,
I hope she's listening.
She is. That's why I said it. No, I'm just kidding.
What's her name?
Her name's Katie.
Kate?
Katie, yeah.
Katie?
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Nate and Katie, we kind of go by Natey. It's like a Benifer thing, you know.
That's really cute. Natey.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Listen, she's a lucky woman. Sounds like you're lucky.
No, I am a very lucky man. I definitely outkicked my coverage on that one. Number 6, who have you never seen live that you wish you would have? They can be living or dead.
Oh my God. I have a lot for this, but like Prince, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Would have like loved to see the Beatles just to like be there in that place and time. Queen. I feel like a lot of like the older, like Queen. Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh God, yes.
Love to see live.
Yeah.
She love all the old jazz like Dinah Washington and Duke Ellington and Mozzie, all those all that like jazz age, but
Yeah.
Ella specifically. Ella has like one of the greatest voices of all time. I can't even, her scatting too, like I've tried, just for fun. I can't even, I don't know, she's like superhuman.
I've never even very basic scatting like Steven Tyler. I just can't. My brain just does not like. It needs there to be an actual word there or something. I don't know what it is. I can't do
It
it.
is weird. And with such like clarity and purity,
Yeah.
like it just blows my mind.
And intent, like you can tell, like that it's meant to sound the way that it sounds, and it's not just an accident. And it blows me away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really insane. Oh, and Whitney
Yeah.
Houston. That's another one.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
love to see live.
By the way, you guys did that cover of "I Want to Dance with Somebody" at the Philly Music Fest, and that was pure fire, absolute fire. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Tommy has a critique for that.
I have.
Give you the platform for.
I think, this is great. I've been waiting to air this grievance. I love it. I think it is a great departure from the traditional song. I think it needs to speed up. I think the second half of the song needs to hit main tempo because it's a song about dancing with somebody, and it's too slow to dance to.
Yeah, but it unlocks a hidden lament in there of the desire to want to dance with somebody because you haven't obtained the dance yet. Do you see?
Yeah.
That is true. I think I'm an eternal optimist. So I want Samantha to have, or the whole band to find their dance partner.
I like it. It's like I think one of the saddest songs ever written is Robin's "Dancing on My Own." I wrote a whole thing about it because to me like it's so sad. It's such a sad song of somebody just pretending everything is okay, and it really hurts me to hear sometimes. And then like when it became kind of the anthem of the Phils, I was just like, oh no, I have to hear this a lot.
I know, and I was like, why are we erasing Robin's version?
Yes.
It's
Robin's
the best version. No shade to
is so good. I was my menial high school job was at the American Eagle back when it was in Suburban Square, and that was on like whatever corporate playlists they had, and so you'd hear it like 6 to 7 times a shift for like 3 months. And I will say, like, I have my ups and downs with that song, but I love the Robin version now.
Yeah, we actually have the theory that the Phils will never win the World Series until they adopt Robin's actual
I was
version.
literally
I can get
just
behind
going to
that.
say, I think that's the reason they didn't clinch.
Yeah, that's it. You see,
Yeah.
we know the power of Robin. Konnichiwa, bitches.
Yeah. And listen, and we don't fuck around with our Philly sports, and we take
That's right.
things seriously, and they should take themselves seriously.
That's right. Also, I didn't realize that this Callum Scott guy is a guy from The Voice. Do better, Phils.
I didn't realize that either.
I think so. I might have made that up. I might have made that up. I think it's true, though.
actually don't
I think
know
it's
that,
true.
but I was like, listen, I'll bump this. Like, it's not fun, but like doesn't even compare. And like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I blame the
crazy.
Phillies wholeheartedly.
Yes, 10,000%.
you do.
Tommy, who have you never seen live you wish you could have?
Sam had like the nice answers. For me, like I had my Blink 182 teen angst phase just a little bit too late to see Blink live. Now they've of course come back. I just haven't had the opportunity to see them. So I would love to really just like have a throwback Blink concert.
Oh, that's killer. I like that. I not Blink, a little before them. I saw Green Day right before Green Day blew up in a small outdoor club in Allentown. And it was like we bought the tickets, and then by the time the show happened, I want to say Longview came out, and then all of a sudden it was packed and all. And one of my favorite memories of all time at a show is they played in a row like Longview, Basket Case, and something else. And they were like, well, we've played all of the songs that you've probably heard before. What are we going to do now? And then they went into the rest of the show. And I was like, that's ballsy. I like
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
That is
Super
crazy.
early. Yeah.
That's crazy. I was going to say to you, brought up Green Day. I was going to say the White Stripes is another one.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't quite going out to rock concerts in my youth, but I wish I was like a little more on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rebellion.
I'm hoping, did they do the induction yet? Because I'm hoping that Meg shows up. I would really like to see them play together again.
I would love to see a reunion. I just, They're just incredible. That's another one.
Yeah.
That's hard. Like so many, but
For sure. Number 7, name an unappreciated Jawn, something you wish people paid more attention to.
The Flash in the Pan web series by Samantha and Tommy Gongol.
Good answer. Great answer.
Tommy. Me.
Perfectly fine answer.
No, I can't end with that. God, Tommy, that was a good one.
Well, to be honest, my other one was TV shows that were great that had letdown endings. I think people don't appreciate how difficult it is having, now done this web series a little bit. I think like you look at shows where people didn't love the ending and it's like you forget that you enjoyed 6+, let's just take an average, seasons of incredible content. And like, it's tough to land the plane. It's not easy.
Obviously, because I go off on tangents on everything, but I totally agree with that because I was thinking kind of parallel to when people change their sound musically, right? And people like get really upset about it, and I don't understand why, because it doesn't erase the albums you loved. Weezer has released so many albums that some absolutely hate, but they have 2 albums that were 2 of the most important albums I've ever heard in my life. And I'm not going to say that I don't like Weezer because of those 2, because, those 2 albums are the only ones I like. Get out of here. Yeah. So I completely agree. You gotta love the things you love and not let other things affect your love for those things or let you forget them. Good answer, Tommy.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, mine's not that's hard to follow up. I was gonna say, maybe over. Can I change and say overappreciated, or are you good?
No, you're good. You're fine.
Okay.
You do what you want. I told you this is your show.
Oh, thank you. Wow, these are really great, fun questions. I was gonna say compression. Take compression off of modern music. It's too much. We sound like chipmunks, completely stripped. Every nuance in a vocal take or any kind of instrumental take drives me crazy. Sounds like you just like shoved it through a machine. I hate it.
I'm going to marry both of your things. And what I just said about Weezer is why I hate late period Weezer. It is so compressed. It doesn't even sound like anybody played it. It sounds like it was programmed into something, and I can't stand it. I am right on board with you with that.
Thank you. So that feels really validating. And listen, it's on some of the stuff I'm putting out. It drives me crazy. It's always like a push and pull with like a producer sometimes. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be the loudest thing. I was like, people can turn it up. Just take it off. It doesn't even sound like me. So yeah, I totally feel that.
Great answers. Great answers. I love it. Number 8, favorite album. What's your favorite album?
Come Away With Me by Nora Jones.
Good one. That's a really good one.
I'm nostalgic for that.
I think for me, I am a big Noah Kahan guy. I do think Stick Season and his subsequent deluxe and ultra deluxe versions, love all of those. But I would also say for the brief dalliance I had with a record player, of Monsters and Men's first album, Straight Through, I think is like a really, really fun listen.
Oh, fantastic answers. I like it. Number 9, name an artist whose output you'll consume anything they release.
Oh, that's a great. It's so funny. I always feel like I'll say that, and then like it'll be like one album too far. You know what I mean? And then like this is like 3 mediocre albums in a row. Now I'm getting like, this has nothing to do. But I actually love Casey Musgraves, and I loved Golden Hour. And I feel like she's an amazing songwriter, and I would just listen to anything she puts out.
Great answer.
At least once.
Yeah. Tommy.
This is turning into just like my love affair for Noah Kahan, but I think probably Noah Kahan. I mean, I do find like I can just like throw it on with very few skips. The other one, the surprising for me was Rainbow Kitten Surprise. They popped up as like my Spotify top artist of the year, I want to say in like 2022. And like you could have asked me to guess who my top artist was, and I wouldn't even consider them as top 5. And all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, yeah, like I listened to like all their stuff. So they have some really fun music.
Fantastic answers.
I'd say Bon Iver too.
Oh yeah.
Another one I would listen to. I'm partial to his earlier stuff. But just because again I love those records so much, I'd like listen to whatever he puts out.
Yeah, that the Space Side is just like that was one of my favorite songs from last year. Like it absolutely blew me away. Like I was just like, oh my goodness, that. And because I host a radio show on Why Not Radio, and there was a Father John Misty song off the last album, I forget, but I used to play the two of them back to back all the time because it was just like, here are 2 songs where I'm just going to completely space out because just the production on both of them are just so incredible.
Yeah, just like I love like an artist who just like takes risks and doesn't always worry about, what came before necessarily. And he's just like, he can write beautiful songs and then just like take a risk with production and change it up. And I think I admire him for that. It's very cool.
Absolutely. The 10th and final of the top 10 countdown. We got there, folks. This is, what is your favorite Jawn of all time? Again, can be anything you want it to be.
You're so hard. I always want to have like great iconic answers. And then I'd like leave the interview and I'm like, well, that was stupid. Why did you say that? Well, you know what? Since we're Philly people and we're coming off of the Super Bowl win, let's do a shout out to like Philly sports. Let's say the Eagles.
Hell yeah. I like that answer a lot.
Go Birds.
Go
Go
Birds.
Birds. Yeah, man.
Get him there.
Great
Give
answer.
him a win.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this WNBA team because, like I said to somebody, I was like, I can finally pay attention to the WNBA, which is not me making any kind of slight against women basketball. It's literally just because I need a Philly team for me to care about anything.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know. It's very true. I'm surprised it's taken everyone so long, but it feels better late than never.
Exactly.
I'm excited. Actually, Jeremy is a huge fan. It's funny you say that about it being Philly because Jeremy's a huge fan and he lives in New York. He's a big fan of the Liberty. And I'm like, I don't know why I can't get into it. I'm like, I'm all for the WNBA. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
But it's not my home team.
That's
I
it.
just don't care.
You feel like a pretender. I was trying to explain this to somebody that, like, if you like a team from not from your hometown, it almost feels it feels like you're putting somebody else's clothes on. You're wearing somebody else's jersey. Whereas if I wear somebody's jersey from our team, I'm wearing our jersey, right?
I know. Yeah. Exactly. It's so funny when my boyfriend Colin is also from Philly and he's a huge Eagles, Philly, any kind of Philly sports fan. And we live in LA and we went to Dodger Stadium for the first time, like when we moved here and the Phillies were playing the Dodgers. And I remember like, I'm so spoiled, but we grew up in Philly and like, obviously that's it. That's all you ever need to go and see. So I never really went into like foreign stadiums. And I remember being so I was like, do we wear the hat?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so used to Philly fans being like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we can do that. And he was like, oh, I'm wearing the hat. And I was just like, I had it and I was like taking it off or taking it off and putting it back on. And there's no one like Philly fans. Like we're just the craziest and the best.
We are 100% one of a kind.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Usually one of
well, I would say we do kind of share that fanaticism with Boston. Boston also is insane.
Does, yes.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, but I feel like we share like a deep pain that Boston doesn't. Like Boston has
They're
had
too successful. They can't.
Yeah,
it's true.
Championships in the last like 20 years, 20, 25 years. In Philly, I feel like I don't like to say that, but I feel like we had a very good year. We've had good teams, but we know what it's like to be right at the finish line and, as they say, snag defeat out of the jaws of victory.
There's this documentary on HBO. I interviewed the director and the showrunner called Celtic City. Is that what it's called? I think so. About the history of the Celtics, and it's really funny watching them like sadly go. And then as we tried to win our 7th championship, it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like,
what are you doing?
You don't know pain.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's a unique pain that comes with being Philadelphia sports fan.
Yeah.
You know it
for sure.
intimately and you know it well.
Yes.
So that's
All too well. See that
Oh.
callback?
perfect. Nate, that's a perfect bookend.
Tommy, what's your favorite Jawn of all time?
I mean, if it's like the best thing ever, I'm gonna go dogs. I like
Hell
dogs.
yes.
Simple answer.
And a
Who
perfect
doesn't?
answer.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Yeah.
dogs?
We had a miniature Australian Shepherd growing up. R.I.P. Joey. His ashes are downstairs. He was a great dog. He didn't have great owners. It was not the right breed for first time owners. Technically, he was Samantha's dog, and I remind my parents often that they bought her a dog and not me.
Well, he was a nightmare. So
Yeah.
you're
Well, there are no bad dogs, just poor owners. And no, so not at the moment, but not at the moment.
Well, there's this new place in Havertown that could probably use a dog that I hear about.
I agree.
And
It has
they
a
have
fenced-in
dogs.
backyard, I heard. So
I would love to have a yard.
Yeah, me too. You know, we got this house and we were so excited, and like, we rent here, but like
Yeah.
we saw the place. It was like super affordable, and it's like a split house. It's got a basement. It's got a washer and dryer. Like it had everything, and I was like, we got to get it. And then we got it, and then we moved in, and I was like, babe, we don't have a yard. And I it just never clicked, and I was like, God, I'm the dumbest. But yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. I know it. I know. We joke about his basement flooding. I'm like, listen, at least you have a basement to flood.
That's true.
it doesn't feel like that
It doesn't,
at the
no.
time, but luckily we got it all fixed up. So it's been dry ever since.
That's good. That's great to hear. So Flash in the Pan comes out every Wednesday. Is there a time release to it, or is it just sometime?
There is. It comes out every Wednesday, 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
PST,
Eastern.
12 p.m. PST.
Okay, excellent. And then the aforementioned EP, you heard it here first, folks. God
Yeah,
damn it!
It is. It's an exclusive. Thank you so much. Comes out. We don't have a date set yet, but beginning of August.
Okay, very cool. Keep an eye out on that. And then, of course, as you said, Marion Hill in the future, also exciting. Guys, I am hoping for season 2. I'm a big fan of what you're doing, and I hope you get to keep doing it one way or another. Even if it's just you guys shooting TikToks of each other, I just think, I think you got something good, and I am really hoping that people take notice. If anybody wants to check you out, what's the best way to track you guys down on the socials?
Yeah. Tommy has his own personal account, although he should be more.
You don't need to track me down.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
fine.
nothing going on.
I tell him to all the time, but it's fine. It's best.
You got to set up a burner account, man. What do you think?
I had one during COVID, but that I ran out of material pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's best to be off all the socials. But yeah, you can go on my personal Instagram, which was Samantha Gongstar style. Just Google my name, Samantha Gongol, you'll find it. Or my TikTok, or honestly, the YouTube is the best way to find Flash in the Pan. Samantha Gongol, it's on my personal YouTube. And you'll see it every Wednesday.
Guys, thank you so much for doing this. I went a little long, and I apologize for monopolizing your time and your evening, but you guys
super
are the
fun.
best for sitting
This
with
is
me.
so fun. I don't want it to
Thank you.
Really a pleasure.